sit, beach. This is Dixie. This is Dixie's Roadmap to Success. These are tricky trainers. These are the treats I'd suggest you get. You can get them on Chewy or Amazon. The reason they work so well is they have no preservatives, so make sure you fold it over, burp all of the air out of it. Well, they have one preservative, I guess. And if you don't burp all the air out of it, they'll be hard as a rock in about 20 minutes. They work so great because they are very fresh and they don't have very many preservatives, but if you leave the bag open, they will dry out pretty quickly. All right, she is a Rat Terrier. She is very twitchy. The first thing we talked about was exercise. I think she's, the kids do a good job of exercising her, but it's really probably not enough exercise for what she needs. So we want to do some creative ways of exercise. Remember, we can throw the treats up and down the stairs, come up with a fun word that means go down and a fun word that means goes up. And the treat goes in the mouth first, then she hears the command word. First time you do it with an empty stomach, keep throwing them up and down until eventually she's like, you're crazy. I've been down there 93 times, I'm not going down anymore. Sit. That's passive training. We'll talk about that in a sec. So that should be done about every 2 to 4 hours. So we can also play fetch. The family might want to consider getting an iFetch, and she really loves to fetch. And this way she can do it with herself without you guys having to do it. It's about $120, but it's a really good investment. If you have problems getting her to learn how to do it, let us know. I'm happy to go over that with you. We could also, she liked chasing the laser, and she wasn't too frustrated or too aggressive about it. I was going to give you a treat, but you're quick. Rat Terrier is very quick. And then you could also, playing fetch is great, and then scent games, where basically you can just Google that, but it's basically just have her outside and you hide a treat just around the corner of the couch here, another treat around the speaker, another treat over there. Don't put it on the carpet. She'll dig through the carpet to get it. But using the nose is very stimulating. Walking is great. I'm not saying you shouldn't walk her, but if it's an ice storm, or if it's 1,000,000 degrees out, or if it's just, something else, somebody unexpected is going to be coming by, you don't have time to do a 20-minute walk. About 5 to 7 minutes on the stairs is equivalent to like a 20 to 30-minute walk. Before you have guests come over or construction or anything that she's going to be reactive to, we want to make sure we exercise her first. Get her an appropriate amount of exercise and give her at least 10 minutes to recover before the activity begins. That also includes the car. Don't get her exercise and think she'll relax in the car. She won't relax in the car. If she's getting her mouth open, she's panting, she's still recovering. If you don't, that'll make it worse. All right, so you can use the exercise journal. If you forget about the exercise journal or read any of these, let me know, and I'm happy to go through them with you. We also went over a number of rules. As you can see, she's very demanding about, she wants the treats that are in my hand, but she has to do something to earn these. And although she laid down, that's not what I asked her for, so she gets this sort of reward, not this sort of reward. I'm going to use this. If she goes to the dog bed, I'm going to throw the treat on there and say the word beach, because that's her new command word, but she's got to figure that on her own, so I'm waiting for her to do it rather than luring her. So for the rules, one of the rules I suggest is not allowing to be on the furniture, because the higher she sits, the more rank or status she has. She likes to be on the furniture as well as behind, on the top of the furniture behind her guardians. That means she thinks she has more authority than her humans. Also, I didn't talk about this during the session, but well, some dogs will look out a window and bark like crazy. So sometimes we do something called maintenance, where you don't want to cover the whole window because then we look like shut-ins. But if the dog can see it, they're going to react. So sometimes what I'll have people do is take a piece of white paper, and you can actually go to Lowe's and Home Depot and places like this. They have a film that you can adhere as a sticker, but you basically cover the bottom part of the window. So when the dog goes to the window, I can't see out. So I don't get the visual reinforcement that I made the person leave. If somebody's walking by your house and she barks at them and then it appears that they left, even though they're just walking by, she thinks her barking is what caused them to leave. And that reinforces the behavior, and she does it over and over again. If we yell at the dog when it's barking or chastise him, she's like, yeah, he agrees with me, or they're barking too. So at the front door, if we put that film or the white paper just the very bottom part of the window, she can't see out. She hears something, she runs to the window, she can't see it, so she gets out of a habit of doing that. I'll give that for a lay. All right. So yes. All right. That's pawing at me for attention. I can't reward that because that's something we don't like, and I would not recommend practicing the shake for a while. Okay, so let me see. Get the X mats for the furniture so that you can put those on the cushions, and that way it self-polices it for you. Another rule I have is the dog has to. I snuck that one in there nicely. The next one is the dog has to sit before I open the door. So I go to the door and I tell her, sit. She has 3 seconds to comply, and I'm only going to say it once. The more you say it, the less you mean it. So if she doesn't sit, walk away from the door, sit down nearby, beach. And then wait 1 minute, ask your Google or your assistant for a 1 minute timer, then go back to the door and command her to sit again. If she doesn't sit this time within 3 seconds, I walk away and sit down for 2 minutes. Next time I walk away for 4 minutes, 8 minutes, but make sure you're seated when you walk away. And eventually when you say sit and she sits, fly that door open as fast as you can. Sorry, sweetheart. And so after a while, she understands that sitting at the door is a polite way of asking to go outside. Another thing you might want to teach her to do is, once you can get her to do that, is make her wait. Even though you open the door, she has to get the permission word to go outside. And the way to teach the permission word, just go to the door with 10 treats, throw a treat outside with the door open. When she goes and licks it up, say the word. I would actually do it both directions. Do it one and call it maybe adventure to go outside. And then and after that, give her about a couple minutes and then go back outside with 10 treats and open the door and throw the treat in and say casa or house or mansion or something like that. So now you have a command word to go in the house and a command word to go out of the house. And if she can't sit, then I can't be bothered to open the door. She's going to have to start paying for her privileges around here. And that's going to help flip the leader-follower dynamic. Another rule, she should not be allowed within 7 feet of anyone who's eating. She should not be allowed in the kitchen when we're preparing food. The other thing is the guardian should be eating something before they feed her. So put food in her bowl. At this point, she's free feeding, so she's probably not going to show much interest. Then you eat something in 5 more bites. Then invite her over, tap the bowl. When she comes over and sniffs it, if she takes a bite of food for 3 months, the first bite of food, say the word feast or lasagna or whatever you want, sit. And after a while, the dog will understand that lasagna means I get to go eat my food. But it's important the human eats something first. I know, I'm telling them about that. Bully sticks, she likes bully sticks. She wants some bully sticks. Don't give her those raw hides. Remember, if you want to search it, just search for milk bones are bad for dogs. Milk bones, pepperoni, bacon strips, and sausages all have cancer-causing ingredients in them. So I would recommend staying away from those. Use that spot card for the green spot. Go in there. If she's good with other dogs, it's a dog-friendly store. They love to see her. But if not, just get some things. And I would also get the bully sticks. My dog's favorite is a cow knee. And having a couple of these things like in your cupboard, bully sticks probably save the best. The cow knee probably wouldn't save very long. But it's a good thing for her to chew on. Dogs, when they're stressed, like to chew. So if you have guests come over, and every time a guest come over, I get a bully stick, well, then I'm I like it when guests come over. Now, the guardian said that occasionally when she has an item, if the kids come over, she kind of growls a little bit at them. So what we want to do for that is just teach her that when we approach, it's a good thing. So if I'm approaching her, I'm watching her as I approach. And when I get close enough, you'll see her ears go back or her lower head, or she'll get stiff. So once she does that, stop. Then take note of how close you are. Walk away, get a couple treats. Let's say we're at 10 feet. While I walk away, get a couple treats, and I stop at 11 feet. Throw her a treat, walk away, approach from a different angle, stop at 11 feet, throw a treat. Do that until she's pretty much really relaxed. Then you can go to 10 feet, then 9 feet, 8 feet. Eventually you get to the point where you come right up to her and she's like, she's right here, and you just come and drop a treat, and then you walk away. I'd also recommend the family practice the drop command. So whenever she has an item in her mouth, is there anything back here I can, this is a rawhide. We don't want you to eat these things, but can you? No. So when she's got the object in her mouth, hold a treat, and preferably like a toy, not the ball and not a rawhide. Just throw this away. But basically just hold it here. She's going to try to take it with the object in her mouth. Wait, when she drops it, pop the treat in her mouth and say the word drop, and don't show any interest in that. Having the bully sticks helps, so if she does steal something she's not allowed to have, then we can replace it. So we're doing a trade. But after a while, she'll come and spit the ball out of you. She likes to play fetch. I would make sure that when she comes to you, she has to drop the ball and then sit before I will pick it up and throw it. And every single time you do that. After a while, she'll just come and just drop it in front of you to sit. Now, right now, the guardians were asking, like, how do we stop her from doing this? Well, she's a little bit OCD about it, or OCD, she's just in a habit of doing it, and the guardians keep on throwing it for her, and it's kind of got to the point where it's a little bit annoying for the guardians at times. That's why I think that iFetch would really help, because that way, when she's coming to you, you can redirect her there. She plays with the machine as much as she wants. But remember, when she's being naughty, it's probably a good chance that she is under-exercised. So more often than not, when she's naughty, you should immediately take her to the stairs and spend 5 minutes throwing the treats up and down the stairs. You'll be amazed at how much of a difference that'll make. We also talked about petting with a purpose and passive training. Petting with a purpose, if she wants something from me, sit. Sit. She has to do something to pay or earn it. She actually said, please. Lifting the paw can be with saying please. So if she comes up and nudges you, if you pet her, you're telling her, yes, you're the boss of me. So next time she nudges you, tell her to sit. If she's already sitting, ask her to come and sit over here or lay down. As soon as she does, you pet her under her chin, say the word sit and only the word sit, and then pet her as much or as little as you want. If she doesn't sit, playing hard to get works great for dogs. It works, dating, it works great for dogs too. So show her, you don't sit within 3 seconds. I can watch TV, I can watch a cards game, I can play games, I can do the hula hoop. I got about 23 other things to do. I wanted to give you, make you the top of my list, but if you can't be bothered to do it, then I can't be bothered to do anything for you. After a while, she'll come start sitting in front of you to prepay for that attention. And when she does that, make sure you do recognize her and pet her and say sit. Not good sit, just sit. Now, even if you want to pet her, you should still tell her to sit or lay down. Don't ask her for a shake. And if you suspect someone's petting without a purpose, let's say I'm petting her and she's standing up, somebody say paycheck to me, I would stop petting, say sit. If she did sit, then I would pet her on her chin. If she didn't, then I wouldn't pet her. Sit. That's passive training. We're going to talk about that in a second. I know you like to shake, but we're not doing the shake. Tails between the legs. Don't ever pet her when her tail's between the legs. Sometimes they accidentally sit, but I think she's doing it in an insecure way. Her ears are back. She's a little avoidant. She's a little stiff, so I'm not petting her because I don't want to reinforce that. Definitely don't want to reinforce this. Remember, if she's barking or whining at you, even looking at her can be validating. Tell her to shut up or be quiet are all validating. That's exactly what she wants, and it's going to make her do it more. The more you ignore her and then pet her when she sits or lays down, the more she's going to want to do that. And that's what I call passive training. So every time she comes to you, pet her and say come. Every time she lays down, pet her and say lay. Every time she sits, pet her and say sit. Name all of your individual toys. She goes to the dog bed, call it beach. Every time she takes a bite of food, call it lasagna or whatever it is. Takes a drink of water, cocktails, happy hour, whatever you want to say. So putting all these things in context, going out of the house, going into the house, going out of the kitchen. Now we have a richer vocabulary we can more effectively communicate to her, and we're showing through our actions what the things are that we like. Oh, that would be I'll hook you up with a reward for that. Well, hula hoop. So, and if you want to do the hula hoop or anything else, message me. I can send you a video on creating a conditional emotional response or a CER. So every time she does something you want, come. She comes to you, pet her and say come. The more you do that, the more she'll start emulating those behaviors as opposed to whimpering, whining, and barking and jumping up on you. We went over the escalating consequences and the 4 ways to disagree with the dog. I also went over my what I call leadership exercise to help you practice that. If you have questions on that or want to see a video for that, let me know. I'm happy to help send that along. What else did you want me to go over?
When we come home.
When you come home. Anything your dog is doing when you pet it is what you're reinforcing. Your puppy comes up, you come home, your puppy jumps up and is all excited and you pet it or give it any attention, you're rewarding it. So when you come home, ignore her. Unless she jumps up on you, step backward right away, or you can make the hissing sound before she does that. But ignore her completely. This is what we call operant conditioning. So when she is calm and relaxed, she's very attractive to us. We want to pet her. So let's say she's all excited, we're just ignoring her and doing our own thing, putting our backpacks down. She calms down, then I reach for her. As soon as I reach, she's going to start wiggling. I pull my arm back. When you get excited, it causes me to lose interest in petting you. You'll have a whole lot of, if this is the dog's face, at first it'll be like, reach this far, then you have to stop, then this far, then this far, then this far, and this far. It might take 15, 20, 50 times. But the more you're consistent with that, after a while she learns, when people come home, if I'm calm and quiet, they love me like there's no tomorrow. If I'm excited, I'm invisible to them. If she jumps up on you, cross your arms. This is a demand for attention, which I'm ignoring. If she jumps up on you, cross your arms, look up and freeze. Become boring. When she jumps down, if you want to pet her, tell her to sit or do something else and pet her for sitting. Don't pet her for getting down because she'll jump back up on you. So if she's demand barking, she's whining at you, whimpering, you see her ears are back, her head is up, she's begging essentially. She's not throwing a temper tantrum, it's more of a begging. But I think she's just so used to getting her way, being told no is just confusing for her. And she thinks she's in charge of her humans, but her humans don't listen to her, which creates frustration. Frustration leads to stress. Stress causes a lot of anxiety. And that's probably the reason she has cortisol in her blood. So the more that we pet with a purpose, enforce rules, passively train her, yeah, I would have done it, but you didn't go all the way there. The more that she's going to see herself as a follower and then feel the burden of responsibility being lifted off her shoulders. If her accidents in the house are indeed marking, once someone else is in charge, it's inappropriate for her to mark, sit. And so remember, if she comes in and scratches her back on your leg, she's scent marking you. You want to disagree and you should act almost offended, jump up like, what are you doing? And you have to really sell it. Sometimes being a little over dramatic can help. Right there, that would be passive training. Pet her for sit, pet her for come. Right there, pet her saying come.
Come.
The more you pet her, and again, always try to pet under the chin as a good correction. Katie is pretty smart cookie too. So the more we pet her under the chin facilitates that nose up orientation. Make the list of the official command words, and then say vocabulary if somebody's using a version of the command word that's not correct. Say repeat or rerun if they're saying the command word inappropriately. And when you're taking snacks, right now there's a ball in here, so she's trying to get into it. Stand up.
Okay.
There you go. Walk towards her. Keep the camera towards me. There you go. So you can do two things. Kate is correcting the dog and saying, no, you can't go there. And she's still filming it. You take a giant step backwards anytime the dog sits. One step only. There you go. Take another step back. Now turn to face that way. Keep the camera at me. Oh, rest, come back, go back. So you have to watch her. So as soon as she comes back, and you're moving pretty slow, so I want a big, sudden movement towards her. If you're too slow and nonchalant, she's like, oh, you don't really mean it. There you go. Step backwards anytime she sits down, unless she's sitting down in the area that you want. And then one more small step. There you go. And so now she's still, you can film her a little bit for this. Up. March. There we go. So the guardian, watch me through the camera or put it down towards her. And when she SITs, take a step backwards. Just wait. Oh, she's fine. Now take a step backwards. So we take a step forward, take another step back, and then come back to me. And you can go ahead and sit down. So we take a step forward to tell the dog that you just broke the rule. So we want her to be about 7 feet away from something, and this maybe about 5 feet because this is a little bit of a cozy room. So create scenarios where you can, when you guys are having a snack, maybe you have the snack, Katie, and mom and practice enforcing that boundary for you. You can enforce it for yourself. It would be probably hard to hiss with a bunch of, what is that, cheese stuff? Cheese that's in your mouth. After a while, remember to be really strict about this stuff for about 2.5 to 3 months. After 3 months, if you want, you can let the dog have a privilege here and there, but remember, breaking a rule can be confusing for a dog. So you shouldn't try breaking the rule to reward the dog until the dog has completely given up on trying to do that thing, and it's been at least a month since they've tried.
She's in your bag.
It's empty. You can go sniff in there if you want. It smells like a lot of great treats, but I've been throwing them all in the dog bed. All right, well, this is Dixie. Come here, Dixie. Sit. Sit. We'll do one more shake for the road. Sit. Shake. This is Dixie. This is Dixie's roadmap to success. Remember, everything you do trains your dog. Only sometimes you mean it.